What breaks barriers in a male-dominated world and reshapes the playing field in professional sports?
Hey there, you're listening to Laid Back Learning with Leah and Garrett. I'm Garrett, and honestly, I'm pretty pumped for today.
And I'm Leah, excited to dive into today's fascinating topic. Welcome aboard.
Today, we're unraveling the story of Sheila Ford Hamp, a game changer in American football. All right, so picture this. Back in the day, I was part of my high school's football team, and honestly, I loved every underdog story that came our way. It's funny because whenever we played against bigger schools, the odds seemed stacked against us. But that feeling of triumph, when no one expected it, is unforgettable. I guess that's why the story of someone shattering barriers resonates with me.
This is totally a story worth telling. Let's open the book on Sheila Ford Hamp, who's made significant waves in the NFL as a woman in a leadership role. Sheila, just like the iconic dynasties you'd find in business history books, comes from a lineage that pretty much revolutionized their respective industries. I mean, she has ties to both the Ford and Firestone families, which is like a business dynasty, right?
Exactly. And it's interesting how she's using that legacy. She's the lead honcho as principal owner and chairwoman for the Detroit Lions, one of the NFL teams. And considering how rare it is for women to thrive at these levels in male-dominated zones, it's, groundbreaking.
Let's shed some light on her past, right? Sheila was born into a family of trailblazers, literally. Without dropping into every detail, her birthright into history leverages power and a call toward responsibility. And here's where it gets really interesting. She was part of the first group of women at Yale University. Can you imagine the conversations, the kind of resilience needed at that time? Women had just barely started gaining access to these spaces.
That definitely sets the stage, doesn't it? Now, she doesn't stop there. While racking up degrees, bachelor's from Yale, master's in teaching and early childhood education, she was, fun fact, also a Michigan State tennis champion. Clearly, she had a love for competition from early days.
Yeah, real talk. By 2014, she stepped up as the vice chairwoman for the Lions, and suddenly, she's influencing strategic paths directly within the NFL. She experienced the game from up close. Over time, tough decisions followed. Notably, in 2015, making decisions that impacted team leadership so crucially, that was no mean feat.
For sure, she was balancing the weight of a family legacy too. There's always that added pressure to maintain, improve, and innovate, especially when it's something so connected to who you are. Then in 2020, she took over as the principal owner. That's quite the milestone. It paved the way in showcasing female leadership in sports. Her first major decisions, like those of management changes later in the year, were about setting a fresh tone.
Honestly, that's both inspiring and brave. Now let's unpack this idea. What if she pursued professional tennis next to the sports biz instead of NFL leadership? Let's get to the heart of it.
This one's got some depth to it. Her skill in tennis could have opened so many more doors separately. Maybe she could have been a world champion. But think about what the NFL and sports leadership would have missed out on through perspectives and changes she's introduced.
Right? But in another alternate reality, the NFL might have remained dominated without her steering the Lions. Her influence suggests a cultural shift with possibly more doors opening for women in related fields. Without her unique insights, what would happen there?
I could get behind the idea of sports dramas spotlighting something like this. Shows capturing women's dynamic roles in industries usually male-led, hands down, would be captivating. Honestly, we need more of that insight hitting the mainstream.
That's something to chew on. And aside from that, studying Sheila Ford Hamp's journey is about more than, football. It's a treasure trove of dynamics at play, changing perspectives, fostering social equality. It's inspirational. For anyone out there, every young leader, especially women, taking their first step into leadership spaces.
All right, that ties it up nicely. Stay curious, stay informed, and keep exploring new ideas.
So there we have it, folks. Let's wrap that up with a bow.